Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. We are live for Best of the Rest. You get me? We have the big Man City and all of them lot at the top. But listen, what about the rest of us, man? But we're here to talk all things football. We got Dan Potts in the building. Dan, how are you, mate? Everything all good?
Yeah, I'm all good, my bro. I had a couple of days off enjoying Christmas with the family. Hope you all had a great one. Merry Christmas to all of you and all of the listeners, and big up for having me back on, man.
Yeah, man. Come on. Always, man. Always good to see Dan Potts on the channel. We got man like Carefree Lewis. Big game tonight. You know what I'm trying to say? What are you saying, Lewis? Everything blessed, yeah?
Yeah, big up everyone. Merry Christmas. Hope you enjoyed the festivities. I was enjoying everything. Woke up, had a good night's sleep and everything, and then I remember we played today. Can't
Yeah.
enjoy the peace for too long. Can't enjoy the peace for too long. But who knows? Might be the last game under this fraudulent manager, so it can't all be too bad. But big up everybody. Big up.
Big up, man. And we got Specs representing Newcastle. We're going to touch on his side soon, right now. But Specs, how are you, man? How's your Christmas been? Everything good family-wise and that? Good to see you, man.
Man, Merry Christmas to those who celebrate it, etc., etc. Happy festive season to some, not to others, i.e., myself. But you know what? We give thanks. I'm here, I'm breathing, so it's all good.
Yeah, man. Definitely, man. Listen, big up to everybody here. Make sure you smash the like button on the video. First of two uploads today, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. But listen, we've only got to start with one place, man, and that is Newcastle United. Before I go to Specs, let me go to Dan first. Yeah, is Eddie Howe in trouble? Should he be in trouble? And is it a case of he's going to get the first sacking of the big six so far this season, on the top six, etc., etc.? Um, yeah, man. He's listen. For me, when I looked at Eddie Howe at the start of the season, he went on that little bit of a run, and then obviously got back in it, Champions League football, and now he's had a few players injured, but now he's looking really in big trouble now. I think he's got one win in the last how many games? Crazy, man. Chris Wood, Ilanga tore him apart. But yeah, man, what are you saying? Is he on the firing line? What are you saying, Dan?
I don't know, man. Listen, there's a lot of credit in the bank what Eddie Howe's done because he overachieved with Newcastle, right? But that
Yeah.
credit in the bank only lasts so long. And I think this season, when you've had a couple of weeks like Newcastle have, if Newcastle want to come play with the big boys, then there is always going to be pressure. And that's going to be the thing I will say. However, you can't get rid of Eddie Howe because of what he's done, right? You can't. You've got to
Yeah.
look at a number of factors as to what's happened with Newcastle in terms of the long injuries they've got. Starting to get some players back now, so that excuse has now got to stop. Actually, it's been the performance has been worrying in a couple of games.
Yeah,
I
facts.
agree, man. It hasn't been the same Newcastle that we all kind of not fell in love with as neutral fans, but respected as neutral fans last season. I think a lot of people, it basically did what Villa are doing right now. You looked at Newcastle and thought, whoa, really? Like I thought maybe they'd sneak like a European place, but Champions League, wow. Well, we're doing the same with Villa now. So I think what Eddie Howe's done is definitely deserved to be looked at and praised. I think what will happen is if this carries on, there will be huge pressure on Eddie Howe if there isn't already. Now, as a Newcastle fan, I don't really think there is any pressure because they'll be in love with what he's done. But depending on where Newcastle wants to finish this season, then that's the question you got to ask. If you want Europa League, just get me Europe, try and do well in a cup, then there ain't no pressure on him. But if he's got to get Champions League football and try and win something, then of course it's a different story. So where I'm at, if I'm a Newcastle fan, is actually let's just calm down about the shall we go for someone else first of all. Let's get the performances back because they're clearly there. The team is clearly there. You've got some players back now. And once you put your team together and start to look at the Newcastle of old, you can then start to see where you're going. But if their performances continue the way they are, then maybe in 4 or 5 games, you might actually look at that question and go, has he taken us as far as we can? But I think it's a little too early for those convos just yet, in my opinion. But it ain't been good for Newcastle at all, man. I've been watching them closely and I haven't been impressed by their performances at all. And their mentality has been all over the place for the last few weeks, man. It really has.
You know, you say about the fixtures, though, guys. Yeah, they've got Liverpool on Monday. They've got Sunderland in the Northeast Derby. Then they've got Man City at home. Then they've got Aston Villa away. Then they've got Luton Town at home. I mean, that is an incredible tough game, tough group of games to come. Specs is the writing on the wall, man. Is what How do you survive that, man? You get me? Unless you do a miracle and you still shell out or whatnot. But bro, I can't really see him like getting much results from there. I'll be real with you.
Well, look, for me, first of all, we've got to try and just keep the faith because that's all we got at this moment in time.
Yeah. Facts.
I'm not going to get into the narrative. I refuse, and I hate it, having the name Howe alongside the word sacked. I'm not having that. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
And it's not about, the other narrative where they say, oh, look what he's done and blah, blah, blah. It's nothing to even do with that. This is Howe's first proper issue, proper like hard moment, like tough moment. And we just got to ride along with it. But questions are allowed to be asked. And the frustration is there. So, in a way, I like the fact that now some fans are still doing it where they're still saying that narrative. No. Look what, like, they refuse to question him. They refuse to question things.
No, you
like
got to question him. You got to question him. 100%.
And in a way, like, I do like, that's what I like about our fans. Like, we're loyal, you know what I mean? Like, but let's not get silly. We're allowed to ask questions like, what the fuck is going on? Why is Eddie at the moment being reactive and not proactive? What has Tino Livramento done to not start against Luton and not start again? What is the thinking behind see the line with Hudson Odoi, but you're putting a Dan Burns, he's back, but he's just come back. He's getting cooked. You see what they're doing in that game. And obviously, with a bad run of form, but let's just go to the Nottingham Forest game. You see the long balls they're doing, the counter-attacks. They're targeting Langer, targeting Wood. And about half time, everyone knows, I didn't have watch along, everyone, the average fan knows, you know what? Let's take Burns off. Let's try and change it up. He didn't do that. And Miggy Amaron, I love Miggy Amaron, but for me, I'm thinking, why are we still starting? It's been very basic at the moment. It's just obvious. For me, you put Gordon on the right, maybe put Isaac on the left, put Wilson up front. But he does this when things start going wrong. And I'm thinking, I'm sure everyone can see that was the case before this happened. But in terms of the second thing, I'm not having it. Is he under pressure? Well, now he is. Not in the sense of your job's on the line, but the next 3 games, as you said, and with something obviously involved, that's the big one. Believe it or not, because our away form is dire. Now our away form is going to the home form. We have no more excuses. Some players are back. We can't use the fitness thing. Keep using the fitness thing and tiredness thing. Like right now, Eddie is fucked. So now we're looking at him like, okay, now it's time to really earn $1 when things are going bad. Does he have a plan B? I don't think so. He keep playing the 4-3-3. There's not, people say, oh, we can't really change the tactics because our players are being drilled to play a certain way and all that. I get that, but that's his job. He's the gaffer. He's the big man. We're looking at him to make things change. And right now, Newcastle, man, the players as well, they've got to look at themselves as well. Can't put it all on Eddie. The players are pissing me off. Bar Miley and so on. One or two players, the players are pissing me off. There's no urgency. There's no desire. Like Dan was saying earlier, that Newcastle that we recognise, it's not there. Yes, it's not an excuse, but yes, you can play Champions League and the injuries from before have played a part. They have, but it's not an excuse. And I'm pissed off, John. I'm not going to lie.
No, I hear you, man. I hear the frustration, man. I can't lie, man. The players that were performing, good Bruno Guimaraes just fell off a little bit. You know what I mean? Your defense is looking like before. Your defense was one of them where you get me that was keeping you in good stead, but that even looks a bit kind of bad as well.
Absolutely,
off. Your keeper as well. Nobody talks about who's that keeper that's out? Nick Pope.
Yeah,
Nick Pope. Yeah,
that's a big blow.
Massive blow. You know,
that's a big blow. Don't get it twisted. That's a big blow. Bradford's coming. There's times Bradford has made some really I'm not going to put anything really on the Bradford. But you can see the difference. You get what I'm saying? Also, you can see the big difference when your leader, he's not our main captain, but he's our leader on and off the pitch. Look at your leaders like Kieran Trippier, he's off. You get what I'm saying? So it's not his fault. Even yesterday, when your main guy's off, that can filter through the whole dressing room as well. You know what I'm saying? He's off, but Eddie seems to keep playing him. Is that political? Is that trying to be someone's friend? Don't go down the Gareth Southgate route. You know what I'm saying? So all that is questionable as well. As I said, there's a lot of questions that to be asked. Do you get what I'm saying? Why is Liverpool not getting more minutes? Is that is that something behind the scenes? Or is that money thing? Is it a logic thing? I don't know. I'm not saying Lewis Hall, he's still young, still got more to go. But, bruv, I don't care if you're 15 and I haven't heard of you. If you've got fresh legs, you need to change it up a bit, man. You can't pick the same staleness, the same stale plays, the same plays game after game. You can't keep doing the same shit and you're not getting nothing different back. So after a while, it becomes a bit inept. It's like, come on, man.
Facts.
Pissing me off,
100%, man. Yo, Lewis, what are you making of Newcastle at the minute? Obviously, they got problems and whatnot, man. But obviously, you're managing under pressure. You know what I mean? You're probably thinking, yo, this Eddie Howe can't get sacked before Poch, man. What's going on here, man? But yeah, man, what are you saying about Newcastle?
It's very interesting. Newcastle are where? 8th in the table. 8th in the table. And yet Eddie Howe is under immense pressure to deliver. He has to go through in the FA Cup. He has to get results. And him not getting through against Chelsea has been very damning on him as well. Sounds like standards. It's nice. I forgot what this felt like because my club, we make excuses every other week. Injuries, lack of fitness, inexperience, lack of height, lack of aggression, even though we have the most fouls in the league and the most yellow cards. But it is refreshing. It is refreshing to see pressure being put on a manager who should realistically be in a comfortable position with how high he took Newcastle last season. But no, you guys are looking higher than that. You guys are asking for more. You guys keep asking for more. And you're entitled to do that. Like, that's what a big club should be doing. Meanwhile, here, we make excuses every other week. I'm just sick of it. I'm just sick of it all. But you guys, for the most part, I feel like we'll be fine. It's just you got a difficult run of games coming up. You just have to beat Sunderland. Over anything, you have to beat Sunderland.
Yeah, Sunderland. Yeah. Let me ask you a question, Lewis, yeah? The fact that they overachieved last season and now they're expected to be a top 5 team, is that something that I don't know what the word is like, but, the expectations now have almost become their worst nightmare because now they're expected to reach Champions League football now when they maybe overachieved last season. What do you reckon to that? Is that a good note?
No, because they showed that they could do it last season. So all it is now is you have to at least get to that level again or exceed it. Ideally exceed it. But if you end up back in the top 4 again this season, you're going to be like, all right, we've stabilized ourselves. We're now a surefire top 4 team. No one's going to say it's a one-season wonder thing or anything like that. You continue to build off it. That's the whole point of progressing up the table. You continue to rise the standards up as the team continues to develop. So I understand it. If anything, I respect the fact that Eddie Howe's already under this sort of pressure because it shows how serious Newcastle are as a football club. They got the resources for it. They've got the scouting for it. So there's no reason why they shouldn't be up at that level. Just keep the standards up.
No, but you know what though? Like, I can't speak for every single Newcastle United fan, yeah, which is my opinion, yeah, and what I think's out there. This season was always going to be a tough ask to try and get a top 4 again. As you alluded to, you're ahead of schedule. Like, I'm not deluded in it. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, let's say, as it stands, if Newcastle finished 7th, let's say we finished 5th, 6th, and maybe a decent cup run. No, I mean, it is not like that. It wouldn't be like the end of the world because, as I said, finishing 4th is a hard task. And very hard. Look at all the teams in there. And then this season, the Villa and so on. And then, obviously, I'm not deluded from the moment. Okay, I'm lying. I'm naive. When we got the Champions League, I thought, no, man, our squad is enough. It's so good. We can handle all 4 fronts. That was me being naive because I'm not used to what you men are used to. You get me? Then shit got real. And I said, oh, my gosh. Especially the way Eddie wants to play, high intensity and all that. That non-stop, do you get what I'm saying? Eventually, it took its toll, injuries. Then you got the same players trying to do the same thing week in, week out. It's caught us up, bro. Like, so in terms of trying to finish, like saying the pressure and all that, I think that's the outside noise. I think the expectation is more the outside more than the inside. But The reason why the pressure is going to hit him right now amongst some of the Newcastle fans is, for me, it's like, it's not on, bro. There's no way you go to Luton and you're one of the only teams that can't score against them. Fuck all that. There's no way Forest come, fuck a manager's bounce, because they already played Bournemouth and lost, I think. You come to St. James Park, he made how many changes? So half of the players don't even know each other that well in terms of playing each other on the pitch. And Chris Wood, our fans literally mocked him.
Bro,
We wanted him out.
how did he not celebrate, by the way? Can someone explain to me how Chris Wood did not celebrate his hat-trick? Bro, you played 35 games for them. Like, how are you not celebrating? Like, this spreader, I don't know why. That deserves a celebration.
Newcastle really left their mark on him. Fair play.
This guy. You know what? Big up to Chris Wood, did it, for not celebrating. But for me personally, I don't know why he didn't. I'll be saying it. You can see he wanted to, though. Like, he's thinking, like, hat-trick. He wanted to, bro. Like, to say, you know, like, also say, like, look, there you go. You didn't fancy me, like, all most of the football fans. But you know what? He's come back. And I said, I'm watching him. I said, you can't make this shit up if this guy probably scores at least a goal. The fact he looked like Ronaldo and he was doing certain things and thinking the keeper and all that, I couldn't believe what I've seen. I was confused.
He was like Messi. That goal against, I think it was like the Messi one where he dummied there, Boateng and that. I think Anthony Tobias says, am I wrong giving my brother a Christmas present, which is United jersey with number 7, and you never walk alone at the back? Listen, that's crazy. That's wild, man. That's torture. Smile. Lewis, life is too short. Lol, mud. Yeah, man, we'll get on to Lewis. Don't worry, people, man. Make sure you like the videos. Over 730 people in here, and we haven't even reached 200 likes. That's a disgrace, man. You lot are moving like Chelsea in 11th, man. What's going on, people, man? Make sure you smash the like button on the video. Subscribe to everybody's channels. If you were to tell me, before we wrap this up, give me what you want in January. I want you to tell me what Newcastle need in January to get a new lease of life. Tell me.
Well, the obvious is we need some bloody players. And even that, I don't know if that's going to solve the whole problems. But we're going to need a right winger.
Yeah.
For me, a midfielder, and we're going to need another striker. Yeah, you got Wilson and Isak. Isak, top boy, you get what I'm saying? Wilson, good servant and that. But they don't want to stay fit for the whole season. Definitely a right winger. Like Miggy Almiron. Yeah. Love him when I love him, but it's just like, damn. And he's the cause of one of the goals as well. It's just basic, like, the whole game I didn't want to get too mad, but I can't help myself. I'm like, Miggy, when you're supposed to pass or lay it off, you don't want to lay it off. When you're supposed to effing shoot, you don't want to shoot. And that happened yesterday. And then before you knew it, I blinked my eye, before you know it, Chris was scoring. So, yeah, man, we got that. I want at least three or four bodies through the door. Would it make a complete difference? I don't know. But we need it, man.
Okay.
We need it, bro.
Okay, fair enough. Someone say there, new goalkeeper, holding midfielder, right winger, and striker essential. Yeah, man. Let me know in the chat, Newcastle fans, what you guys want in the summer. In January. And then, yeah, man, big up to everyone who's here, man. 800 of you's locked in. Make sure you like the video. Listen, the goal drought is over, man. Talk to me, guys, man. Dan, Hojlund scored yesterday. Unai Emery, good evening. Not so good evening yesterday. Listen, that was a perfect game of what United thrive on in terms of transition, in terms of playing in behind space. United always thrive on that. Chelsea gave us abundance of that, and then they did it, and we won them as well. That was like almost a similar game. This is why, for me, I can't get too gassed about yesterday, but I'm just happy Rasmus Hojlund has finally scored. That miracle song, Shawn Mills, big up to him, but it's finally over, man. But Dan, chat to me, man. What did you make of the game? Villa, are you disappointed in Villa, or are you giving credit to United? How's your thinking by the game, by the way?
I thought Villa chucked it away, man. You can't be 2-0 up and throw it like that. What I will say is I thought United actually deserved it in the second half, the way they played, and they actually got together like a team. First time I've seen United play like that for a very, very long time, particularly under this manager. It's been a while. I think big up to Garnacho, to be fair, as well, because I thought Garnacho was really good. And you know what? He's actually been really good in the glimpses that I've seen of him, to be fair. And for a kid that young to be the one that, you know, people are saying in the chat, carrying Man United, that's a worry still for Man United. Let's not get it twisted, right? But at the same time, big up to him because I think he deserved a lot of credit. I do look at it and feel like there's a lot of hype, and Man United will get very excited again now. But there's so many problems at the club that they need to calm. However, Villa, man, what a bad week. You know, when the pressure starts to get on them, they've completely bottled it. You go and like lose your home record to the bottom of the league, Sheffield United, and then you go 2-0 up against United and Man United and throw it away. Disappointing from Villa, I have to say. I thought Man United was shocking in the first 25, 30 minutes. I thought it was embarrassing.
Embarrassing.
To go absolute shambles. I don't know what Varane's doing still for that goal. He's like he's
By the way, yeah, I haven't watched the game back here. What happened with the Onana situation? Because I still haven't watched the game back, by the way, because I went back last night when we came in. Did Onana get shook by Bailey? Did he say something to him, or was it just a random?
Probably was.
I haven't watched the game back.
Probably.
He was standing behind him. Something was probably said. We just can't tell.
The goal,
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Mad, you know, because he'll pull off some worldy reflex save and then just throw the thing back in his net after. Like, he is the most inconsistent guy. I've never seen anything like it, right? But I have to say, like, Villa have disappointed, I think, most people that questioned them to go, could they do this? And the last 2 games have proven that perhaps they can't. And I'm talking about doing the unthinkable, right? I still think they've got an unbelievable chance and will get Champions League. But I look at it and go, you need to prove that you can actually get across the line when people look at it. And to be fair, that wasn't even hard. Like, they had Sheffield United to be at home and Man United, who are, let's be real, Saeed, on the floor, and they couldn't do neither.
Yeah.
So that's poor when you look at what Aston Villa have been asked to do, right? But at the same time, I'm going to big up United's second half performance a little bit because they came out and whatever Ten Hag said worked, or they got lucky, right? Whatever way you would look at it, because you saw Rashford he picked up his game. He was a disgrace in the first half again, by the way, Rashford. And then you look at him picking it up. Bruno Fernandes. I don't know how you deal with this guy every week, Saeed. The guy is the biggest whiner, biggest whinger.
Yeah. That's his game, man. That's his game.
Drives me insane. So, but when I look at it, I look at what Man United. Can you build on this now? Is there anything you can build on this? Is it, you know?
We've seen this before, though, Dan. This is why on Twitter yesterday, I have these little absolute imbeciles. Yeah, that's what they are, man, on Twitter. Oh, but Saeed, are you now Ten Hag in? We won a game, broski. If that's how you judge everything in life after one game, and you'd be like, oh, you're back to, are you now Ten Hag? Broski, it don't change nothing for me. Yesterday's result was in isolation, but we've seen this story before. We'll win a game, everyone gets gassed, and then we'll lose again. That's what happens, man. You know, Man United still, for me, are a million miles away from where they need to be. And that, for me, is down to the manager and what he sets up. You don't know if McTominay's going to go back into the team. You don't know if certain situations are going to be happening now. So, listen, I can never trust this Man United team and this manager as well. But like I said to you, yesterday was a perfect game for this team in the transition, in the open space, and we thrived on it. They played that high line. You know, Unai Emery's a madman. But that's, you know what, though? Sometimes when a manager has a philosophy and it's worked for so long, he's going to do that every single time. Can he maybe sit up and say, you know what, I'm going to stop everything from coming in? But that's his philosophy. So fair play to him, man. But other than that, you know, we did what we had to do. And, you know, Hojlund, I'm just glad Hojlund scored, man. You get me? Nunez scored yesterday. Hojlund scored as well, man. You know what I mean? So it's all good today,
though, Saeed, that you're looking towards players like Garnacho and Hojlund that are getting you or trying to get you across the line, and all the others are either in hiding or have been dumped because they're no good and don't care. Like, there's a mentality issue at the club, man. There is, top to bottom. Because when you're relying on Garnacho, like we had this a few years ago where we're looking at our young players, like Bukayo Saka, funny enough, and we're looking at those and we're thinking, this ain't right. Like, this kid should be looking up to role models. Hojlund, lot of pressure. He's coming at United for an unbelievable amount of money, an unproven striker, and it's like, just go do it. Who's going to help him go do it? There's nobody surrounding him to put his arm around him when things aren't right. There's no role models to look up to. There's no leaders in the Man United dressing room that you can come back after a loss and go, I don't think I played well today. Put your arm around and go, listen, man, you'll get better. Raise your mentality, raise your standards. All that. Where is that at Man United? There's no leaders on the pitch. If Bruno is wearing the armband, there's a problem. Let me tell you that right now. Yeah. When you look at the back, and you've got Claude Puel's 2016 centre half pairing, in Maguire and Evans at the back, something's gone wrong, right? So there's a lot that Man United have got to look at. And yesterday's result, I hope it don't. I don't care, but I hope it don't, from a Man United perspective, put the blinkers on people, because there's a lot of problems still, man. Loads of problems.
Facts, 100%, man. I mean, Lewis, chat to me, man. What did you make of the game yesterday, man? And what did you see in the United game? What are you saying?
Thought Villa kind of threw it away, to be honest. At 2-0, they had the game wrapped up and they seemed to stop playing football after the first game. The first goal. They seemed to like panic a little bit. Fair play to United. They came back well. Good moment for Hojlund and everything like that. First goal in the Premier League for him. Don't really know whether you guys are going to build on this because like you guys have looked very bad all season. Obviously, I know Chelsea fan talking and everything, but we've both been crap. But yeah, it's about building a run for you guys. What are the games that you have coming up? I'm just trying to check them quickly. So
we got Nottingham Forest away Saturday,
Wigan away,
Forest.
Tottenham at home, Wolves away. You can build a run there. Everything after that's a bit difficult. Obviously, the Tottenham game will be a bit tricky as well, but like Tottenham have a habit of bottling it too. It's after that, West Ham, Villa, Luton away.
Oh, it's what I'm saying. It's still tough. It's still tough. Then the Manchester Derby.
I don't think you build on it, but it's a nice little moment and all of that.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. It's a nice little moment. I'm happy for Hojlund, but like I said to you, what momentum do you build? This is the problem now in football. It's like I think everybody's just living in these kind of 1-2 games. It's like, what about the performances? Are they sustainable? What about the actual footballing style? How do you build it? This is where, for me, as a Man United fan, I have a particular reason why I'm not favouring this manager anymore. It's because we don't build on this, and we've never built on this. And also, when we have won, we haven't really gained anything out of it because the next couple of games we've been poor. That's the issue now. Sorry?
Except when you played us. Like, the performances aren't really convincing, but like when you played us, obviously you played us off the park. But
yeah, but rise it up for certain games. Yeah, but then their shit and Aston Villa played in a certain style that suited our style. You know what I mean? So, and obviously Nottingham Forest, Elanga and them, man, Chris Wood, they dealt with Newcastle in that way. Obviously, that there will give them the springboard to be like, right, let's have Man United and whatnot. And if Man United play into their hands and lose, what's the excuse then? So that's what for me, that's where I'm at right now. But like I said to you, I'm happy for Hojlund. Garnacho played well on the right-hand side. But this top 5 race is going to be a madness. I'm hearing Romero's out for 5 weeks now. Romero's out for 5 weeks. Oi, that's crazy injury for Tottenham, you know. I can't lie.
And don't make excuse about it. He'll still play the same brand of football.
Yeah,
nice.
But that's what I'm saying to you. So injuries are an excuse when you make it an excuse, innit? You feel me? Like,
yeah.
Andrew still keep playing. Obviously, he'll buy players and whatnot to come in, but yeah, they'll just keep playing the way they want to play because that's how Tottenham and his philosophy is, and you got to rate that. But yeah, man, Specs, what are you saying about United, man? What do you think of the game, bro?
Well, like from what I've seen anyway, like obviously you've heard it all before. You get me? As you said, get a little win. Man United fans get gassed, but you know what? It's gone so bad for you recently. Why not get gassed? That's the whole point of football, right? You got to cheer your team and get gassed. But it's mad though, because it feels like Ten Hag. From the narrative that I'm hearing, it's like you played Liverpool. It's like that. Just give him a little time to not be negative on Ten Hag. And then obviously, after what happened yesterday, when I saw the 2-0 thing, I said, "Damn!" Like it wasn't surprising at the time. It's like you get me. And the goals that Aston Villa scored, like that, I think it was 2 set pieces, but the one where it just went past everyone, and for me and Nunez got to do better. But at the same time, he's probably so stunned himself that he's just gone through everyone. And before you know it, it's in the back of the net. But you know what? I'm going to give, like, people say, do we give credit to Ten Hag for the comeback or just the players? I don't know who's give credit to, bro. All I know, big up to Man United for that comeback. Do you get what I'm saying? Because they were under pressure, bro. The players, the Old Trafford, and to come back like that, Garnacho, I'm questioning, is he better on that right? And on that left, you get more right of him on that right in terms of, do you get what I'm saying? So, like, I'd have thought Man United, like, those goals, you see the urgency in those goals, man, and you have to give credit to them. And Ten Hag as well, obviously, because he's the guy at halftime saying things for them or whatever he's saying and galvanizing. So, big up to them for the comeback. I felt Villa, I was quite shocked they would let that lead go away. I was quite surprised because it's not like, even though Villa score loads of goals and they do what they do, they're not like, I can put it like, let's say, for example, how Newcastle play, like, just non-stop, just that intensity, attack. They kind of at moments are pragmatic. Emirates got them like organised like that. So I was quite surprised to go 2-0 up and that naivety to somehow not draw but lose the game to Man United. I thought that was a madness. But big up to Man United, man. But by next week, you're back to square one again, and you're gonna see Saeed on the Instagram going nuts, out. You get me? All that's gonna happen again next week, bro, or next game. But for now, it's all good. And the last thing, that whole Radcliffe thing, and I beg you, you're the best guy, Saeed, to ask me, or the Man United fans.
Yeah.
What's this like? It's some naive, bro, or just come out of a rock somewhere. What's this hype about? Oh, Radcliffe's here now. But it's like the way the hype is as if he took over the whole fucking club, bro.
No.
What's the hype? No, what's the happiness behind? Like, obviously, he took some. Like, is he going to take control of like the sporting side, or what's the whole hype behind the Radcliffe thing?
So the Radcliffe thing is now we're finally going to get people in who are going to be footballing people. So obviously the guys like, I don't know, Paul Mitchell, the Dan Ashworth, even your guy, Dan Ashworth, will possibly link with him. My thing is we're going to get footballing people at Manchester United. So therefore, we're going to make football decisions. So we're not going to overpay on transfers. We're not going to make stupid transfers that don't make sense. You know what I mean? Everything's going to be made in a footballing way. So that's why a lot of United fans are a bit hopeful in that regard. We're not here thinking Man United are back and the Glazers, we love them and that. No, it's the fact that at least now the Glazers give a little bit of control to Jim Ratcliffe's men, and they give footballing decisions to them. Whether they take the great control and that don't happen, obviously we don't know yet. It's all hypothetical. But right now, the fact that sorry, go on.
You're desperate for that at United, man. Like, if I was wanted United to be doing well, going anywhere, I wouldn't give another penny to Ten Hag because he clearly can't bring players in.
There you go.
He goes to Ajax, so you need to go and get in like Paul Mitchell, somebody like that, and say, right, you are now in charge of everything that we do, getting people into this club, and they need the right mentality, they need togetherness, and they need to raise the standard to put Manchester United back to the very, very top where you need to be. Because at the moment, it's been a shambles. I mean, look at the money you've spent and look at what you've spent it on. It's an absolute disgrace. And Arsenal weren't in a too dissimilar place not so long ago, man. We were spending a lot of money. Let me ask
you a question here. When you brought in Edu, you brought in who do you have to be? Vinay. Is he Vinay a footballing person? Is he?
For me, yeah. Vinay, Richard Garlick, and Edu would all come in. Tim Lewis as well. And the big change was the total ownership of the Cronkies. Because when they're majority shareholders, it weren't really a massive thing. It ain't really their club, is it? They're a part of it, but it ain't them. So now, since they've had total ownership and we've got those players in, that's what those people in, we've started to see difference in the caliber of the players and the recruitment. And also what's happening is all together. There's clearly a plan. Whether you believe that plan is going to be executed, I've had my doubts and still do. But at least now you know where they're trying to go. With Man United, there ain't really been a plan. It's just been bring a few players from Ajax now. Oh, now they're no good. Now go a different route. You probably go and get like some new manager, like let's just say you go get De Zerbi go get players that he used to play with. That's not a plan. That's just like give a manager a go at a job, and let him try and do what he did over there in his previous role. For me, what you need now is Ratcliffe needs to say, right, you're doing this role, you're doing this, and we're all pulling in the same direction. Because that's the thing Mikel Arteta always says is that him and Edu on the same page. Cronkies, they back them, they give them the money they want, they identify a player, they go get him. And they're always talking already about what we're going to be doing in January, and it's all a team thing. And Richard Garlick has been massive in that. So that's what United need. They need a Richard Garlick and Edu and a Vinay. They need that kind of team together. And hopefully, for your sake, they're even better than what Arsenal have got, because I still have my doubts about some of them. But that's what Man United need, man. At the moment, they haven't got anyone. It's just a shambles. It's just been run horrendously by the Glazers, man.
Yeah, a couple of super chats here. Can Newcastle excuses be used for Ten Hag? Eddie and Ten Hag started similar. One is the richest club in the world. The other has the worst operations. Yeah, but you also got to remember, Ten Hag had a lot of say in the transfers. You know what I mean? So we can't really use that excuse for him. Simon Paul said, football is cycling people. Listen, cycling people is going to be doing with other operations. He's the guy that's going to be sorting out different things and whatnot. But the main footballing people, like I said to you, are going to be hopefully Dan Ashworth and Paul Mitchell, or maybe someone else as well in that regards. But listen, it's not worked that well for Chelsea. Look at Chelsea; they're in disarray. You know what I mean? You'll know more than anyone, Lewis, that You know what I mean? Footballing people might not be always the best thing as well, in terms of it can be a hit and miss. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially when you're building a completely new infrastructure from top to bottom. Sometimes you're gonna have misses, but you need to get the manager correct. That's the first. That's the first thing, and we haven't done that.
Yeah, that's again exactly. You know what I mean? Yeah, but Chelsea, man, you know what it is with Chelsea. Their recruitment strategy is just all wrong. You don't know what they're actually trying to do.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Why is it a youth project? You know what I mean, bro? Like, Chelsea have. Yeah, go
The
on.
project isn't the problem. It's the guy that we have in charge running the project. That's the problem.
Yeah,
He's gaslighting everyone into thinking these players aren't good enough. These players are way better than 10th. 11th now. Forgot Bournemouth won. These players are way better than 11th.
Yeah.
Bro,
Mate,
that's
I
crazy,
think
man.
it's brilliant, man.
By
I
the
think
way,
it's
yeah,
brilliant.
just to give it, give a
Go on, no,
special
go on,
mention
go
to
on.
Bournemouth, because say Bournemouth, special mention to them, man. Like, I know it's best of the rest show, but they are the best of the rest. But
Yeah,
Bournemouth, man, Solanke,
Yeah, man.
what we saying
New
about him, man?
players,
Common finest.
new manager, a lot of injuries, new style of play, and here they are, level on points with Chelsea.
They turn it around. They turn it around. Yeah.
27 or something like that.
It weren't
Trust the
long ago.
process. Hey,
It weren't long ago though that Bournemouth were like, get rid of this Areola dude. He ain't right. They're going down. Blah
Yeah.
blah blah. Fair play to them, because they could have done that. They could have pulled the plug and got
Oh,
someone
yeah.
panic merchant in, like a Pulis or Allardyce type. Do you know what I'm saying? For me, I think big up to them, because they've stuck by him. They've said, no, this is our star. We believe in him. This is why we got him ahead of Gary O'Neill, who, to be fair, has done a good job at Wolves this season already. So for me, big up to him, because I think they've been fantastic. And Solanke is a player we were linked with, and I kind of scuffed at it and said, well, really? But, mate, he's killing it at the moment. Absolutely killing it, and keeps scoring. So Bournemouth, fair play to him. But, yeah, let me know when we can talk on Chelsea, because I've got a lot to say, man. I ain't even digging Lewis out, because I love Lewis. But some of your fan base, Lou, are absolute disgrace, by the way. Yeah, absolutely.
well, which one?
Let's chat.
There's a lot of
Chat.
infighting. Which side are we talking about?
Mate, your
Talk to me,
fan base are a disgrace, bro. Absolute disgusting. The way that they talk, they forget where you were for the last 2 decades under Roman, right? And now it's all these excuses I'm hearing, like, what do you expect? Are they young players? We got slaughtered for saying that we can't win because it's young players, right? This guy spent £1 billion on this team, right? And the other thing that is a myth, by the way, right, is the fact that Pochettino is a wonderful coach with young players. Reel off these young players that he's made better. I don't know any of them. Harry Kane, I'll give you that. Dele Alli, if you really want to reach, but look at the state of him now. Yeah, okay, mental health and stuff. I'm never gonna talk on that. But as a footballer, he's completely gone. Who else are we talking about? I'm not giving Kyle Walker. He did well when he gone to Man City and done loads of things. But if you really want to go down that route, go for it. Danny Rose, where's he now? Where are these amazing young players that he is now? I got Poch. Oh, everyone's in trouble. Everyone's in trouble. Pochettino's at the wheel. He's got these young players. It'll be right. This Todd Bowley is a reckless nutter, right? And he just throws money at stuff and thinks you're going to win the league by next season. I said to your fan base, you are going to have at least 6 seasons where you're accepting that you ain't going to be at the top. No, that won't be. It won't be like that. We spent £1 billion. It won't be like that. If you're going to start again by some young kids,
I said 6.
Jesus, I tell you, you're in
everything else. Like, I totally agree with. I think everyone's really trying to act like we've spent $1 billion on a bag of crap. We haven't. The problem with Bowley is that he's given this project to an absolute idiot in Pochettino, and we spent months looking for a new manager. For this to be the answer. That's my problem. But I still believe in the squad. Our defense is good enough that they shouldn't be leaking the goals that we should be conceding. Our midfield is good enough to go toe-to-toe with the best in the league. Our attack, cool. There's questions on that. Fine. I understand that. But they're still better than they were last season. Yeah, the goalkeeper, like Sanchez, like
Petrovic now is the new one. Is he the new check now? Is he the new check?
He doesn't even look bad the last few games. He hasn't done anything wrong. Sanchez, like, really and truly, if he didn't pass to Declan Rice in the Arsenal game, people would look at him a lot more differently. It's just a distribution. Like, Poch is just not getting anything out of this team. He's getting the bare minimum out of it, and he's making so many excuses. People are starting to listen to it. People are starting to think, yeah, maybe it is these players. Maybe it is just a lack of experience and all of that. Bournemouth, who can make about 13, 15 new signings with lower expectations, can be level on the table with us. already at this point this season. They look more likely to climb up the table than we do. That's an inability of the manager to get the best out of the players. And that's my biggest problem. Like, for me, with Bowley, if we don't win tonight and he don't get sacked, he's enabling this. He's enabling this. Because these performances have not been good enough for him to keep the job. We are 11th in December. Really? We weren't even there at this point under Graham Potter. Why are we going to sit here and allow this to happen? He should have been gone now, but you got to get rid of him after the next defeat. That if we lose tonight,
how can you spend more money, right? Give Pochettino the reins, give him more money, and he does a worse job than Potter and Lampard. What the hell's going on here? Like, real talk.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild.
Because it's Pochettino. The guy's not won anything. Why is he getting all this amazing credit? And this isn't an Arsenal hate on Tottenham, by the way, right? Forget Tottenham. I'm talking about Pochettino. This is a guy that's supposed to be coming to Chelsea that for the last 2 decades have obliterated everybody in terms of trophies. And he's like, oh, we'll just give him a load of time and give him a load of young players. He'll get it right in the next few seasons. Nah, man. The standards that are on the floor at Chelsea, right? They are bigger right now. They're a bigger laughing stock than Man United, and that's amazing. I never thought I'd ever say that.
Wow.
Joke.
United ran rings around us. We definitely are the bigger joke. Ever since then, like, you guys are lost every week, and I'm not even there. Like, how are they above us? I'm just disgusted. The way Bournemouth bopped you off the park 3 days after we got bopped off the park there.
Mad.
It's a joke.
No,
it's a joke. It shows how crap our style of play is. It shows how crap this guy's player development is. Mr. King of player development, but he doesn't develop anyone except Conor Gallagher. He's a fraud. And then everyone really thinks these players are crap. They are not crap enough that they are sitting in 11th. This is based off the manager's inability to get the best out of the team. And that's it.
So what are you saying, Lewis? Like, look, we're in December now. You are where you are. So do you think there's any point right now in sacking? Would you be like, you know what? Yep. Let's just go with the flow, whatever. Good point. In the summertime, we can try something. If you are going to let him go, do you think there's any point doing it now, or you think because of the January transfer window, which I think is bizarre? Because to me, you got some players in your disposal, at your disposal. Do you get what I'm saying? But if it was you right now, would you just wait? Or if it was your way, the Lewis way, would you sack him today, right now? Let's change it up.
Yeah. I'll get rid of him right now. We're still like, 10, 11 points off the Europa League spots. I've been saying all season, the race for Europe has never been consistent, because if it was consistent, you wouldn't be competing for Europe. You would be competing for the league title. So it's always just been a run of games away. Newcastle dropping points left, right, and centre. United dropping points left, right, and centre. West Ham aren't consistent. Brighton aren't consistent. Tottenham, they aren't consistent. And we can catch up to these teams with a run of wins, but this manager is incapable of getting it out of this squad. His game management is crap. We have never been losing a game in the league this season at half time. Not at any point. But his game management comes into play and we bottle it left, right, and centre. He can't break down a low block. His substitutions stink. His game management stinks, and his excuses stink. He's not the guy to get the best out of these players. A different manager would be able to do that. A better coach would be able to get a run out of these players. Look at Gerrard's squad at Aston Villa. It's the same Villa team minus 2 or 3 players, and he had them competing in a relegation drop. Look at what Ange can do with Tottenham without Van der Ven, Romero, Udogie, Maddison. They'll still have them playing liquid football and breaking through teams for fun. Good coaches will coach. It's as simple as that. Poch is not a good coach. So I'm not doing this whole gaslighting thing, acting like the players are crap. Or the only thing I'm saying with the owners is you are enabling this guy to keep holding this team back. Raise the standards. Because the longer he stays and the results don't improve, the more it starts to point at you. But for now, it's the manager. The manager is not getting the best out of these players. Sooner people realize that, the better.
Yes, sir. Yeah, 100%. But like I said, long may it continue. Long may it continue.
Everyone asks me that. Chelsea. I am not the scout. I am not head of recruitment.
Yeah, that's what I say when people ask me that.
I just look at what's in front of me. It's not good enough. It's up to the recruitment team to go and get me better. And if you can't get me better and you get me another bum, then I'm looking at you. Because this is the 3rd time now. And clearly your manager ID is not good enough and you need to go as well. Right now, I'm putting blind faith in the fact that they would get a better manager just because this is the worst guy I've ever seen at Chelsea. But if they aren't looking at a manager now, and if they don't get me a better manager, you're the problem. You're the problem.
Preach, man. Preach, man.
Yo, listen, you know what it is, yeah? Like I said to you, man, Palace, you know what to do tonight. And just long may it continue, man. Carefree Lewis is the place to be, man. You know what I mean? Carefree Lewis is the place to be.
First home game I've skipped in years. I just can't be bothered for it.
I love Lewis.
Yeah, man.
I feel you, bro. I feel you.
Lewis, man. Listen, still 1.2k in the building. We haven't even reached still 500 likes yet. I don't know what you guys are doing, guys. If you're watching right now, you don't know where the like button is. It looks like a thumbs up button like that. Hit that thumbs up button. It helps the channel out massively. So please do that. Big up to Mayongi Bergiwa. He says Julian Nagelsmann was that guy. I'm not sure if Lewis wanted Julian Nagelsmann though. I'll be honest with you.
I want.
Yeah.
I didn't mind. It's better than Poch.
Yeah. V3 said, read the legal agreement available online. It's mad that the power in St. Jim's hands for 25% raised to 29%. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Listen, hopefully, like I said to you, if he buys a club outright, then it's better that the Glazers leave anyway. So big up to him. I wanted to touch on Liverpool. Dan, impressed by them last night, or you thought, yeah, Burnley is shit anyway, man? But what are you saying about Liverpool, man?
Yeah, to be fair, I thought they deserved to win. I thought they were the better team. I was surprised it was only by 2 near the end, to be honest. That I got it to them. They scored a couple, didn't they, that were ruled off as well. I think they hit every post and crossbar going. The thing is, man, Liverpool and Arsenal have pretty much done the same. And what I mean by that is I don't think either of the teams so far you've looked at and gone, wow, they've stepped up, man. No one's catching those two. I don't think there's anybody right now that's running away with this Premier League title. And that's good for the neutral, right? Because obviously Villa are still looking at there and people are saying they're in title race. Wasn't long ago, people were saying Tottenham can win a title. Newcastle have now fallen off, but people were looking at that right at the start. Here's Stuart Pearce talking about how he thought Newcastle could do something crazy this year. It's mad what people are thinking about, because for me, I'm still going to say I think Man City will win this league, right? Because Pep has given me no evidence to suggest that I should look anywhere else. But when I look at what Arsenal and Liverpool are doing, they've done some pretty impressive things. Is it sustainable? And what I mean by that is how we have won last minute in certain games, Arsenal and Liverpool. Is that sustainable? Sometimes it's a sign of champions, as people call it. Other times it's like, is that really good to be getting last minute goals against Luton away? Maybe, maybe not. Depends in come May, right? Liverpool have done that as well a couple of times. I think against Fulham, I can think of maybe a couple more months might be able to chip in him. But for me, I think what Liverpool are doing right now is proving that they can score goals wherever they go. I think they also deserve a little bit of credit defensively, Liverpool, because a lot of the time people laugh at that. And I was one of them who said that if they don't get 6, then they ain't going to win a title. And I still do stand by that. They could change that in January, go get a 6, and then all of a sudden it's like, boom, they're here, man. They're serious. And I think that Liverpool maybe deserve a little bit more credit in the last few weeks, particularly against Arsenal. I was looking at their midfield and our midfield, and I was rubbing my hands together. And to be fair to them, Curtis Jones, Endo, and Szoboszlai, and the guys that have come in there, have made them get over the line. And I think they do need a number 6 in January. Van Dijk has picked up his form again. You know, people were laughing at him last season. He's been fantastic. Yeah, and the one that I have to big up again, man, is Trent. The kid is ridiculous, man. He's an absolutely ridiculous footballer. Like I said, he was generational, and I said he was world class a few weeks ago, and people were telling me I was like, you're deluded. They're just laughing at me because he can't defend. But then they'll sit there and say that Zinchenko's not a bad player, but he can't defend either. So you got to work both ways with this, man. For me, I think Liverpool are right up there. I have been impressed. It was a bloody hard game the other day against them at Anfield. It's never nice to go there. Their record's great at home. They're going to be up there, man. I still do tip us to finish ahead of them. I've got to back my team, innit? But when I look at what Liverpool are doing right now, I think they will improve. And I think players like Nunez will start to score more goals. I think Jota now coming back in the team is one of the best finishers one-on-one. Salah, he's not even been that amazing, but he's still got the numbers, a little bit like Saka. So I look at what Liverpool and Arsenal are doing together. It's fairly similar, man. They're getting the job done, and it's not in a wonderful way. You don't look at it and go, wow, they're flying. No one's catching them. They're getting the job done, man. So it's going to be tight come May, for sure, man.
Yeah, man. Big up Monts is just dropped in now. Big up to you, Monts. Chat to me, man. Jota coming back. I think that's a key one coming back. Because he's one of them, like I said yesterday, 1-0 kills the game off for you there, right there. It's a killer in front of goal. Like you need him back, you know what I mean, and whatnot. But
Yeah.
are you kind of like we're still not at that maximum level, or are you just kind of like, you know what, take a game by game? What are you saying?
It's definitely game by game simply because of the way we're playing. I'm definitely not one to advocate sustainability when it comes to Liverpool at this moment in time. I can't complain, but I'm not gonna celebrate. Does that make sense? Like I can't.
Yeah, I heard that. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Because I'm not blind to see that we're not blowing teams away. But then what gives me confidence is that City don't look convincing. They've not been convincing in the last month and a half, last 6-7 weeks. Arsenal sometimes look convincing. Sometimes I look at them and go, am I sure? Do you know what I'm saying? It's a bit of both. So like you'll see them batter Brighton where they battered Brighton, and obviously you had the game where they kind of struggled against Luton. And I think Liverpool have similar performances in their back pocket as well, where we'll look really good one day, and then the next game we're just looking unconvincing. But the difference is we keep winning, just like Arsenal keep winning and somehow finding a way. And at these points, winter periods, injuries, the most important thing is the 3 points on the board. You know, everyone laughs at Manchester United about how the state, the state that your club is in. But when you're getting the odd 3 points on the board, it keeps you in a position where a run of games will put you in the top 4. And do you know what I'm saying? If Tottenham go on a run of games, they're back in a title race. It's actually as simple as that. And that's how important 3 points are. As in, if there is one team and they're just performing and getting points, then I'd be more worried. But because Arsenal and Liverpool are yet to really get in, Arsenal, Liverpool, and City are really yet to get in gear, like really kick on, it's still anyone's game for all three of us. If we're talking solely on yesterday's game, Jota's timing is impeccable. Oh my days. Like with Salah going to Africa, Jota just coming in and left foot, right foot. Again, he don't dilly-dally like Salah's been dilly-dallying recently. He don't dilly-dally like any of the rest of the man. He's just straight, slap it. We're not playing. As you said, Saeed, he's a killer. And that's what we need if we're going to... Also, we're going to have to go to the Emirates without Salah. And that's a massive, massive game. And that could be pivotal in the title race. So we have to be very, very careful fitness-wise. I still think we need a 6. But again, someone who I haven't really spoke about too much is Endo. These last 5-6 games... Bro, he's
I've been calling for Endo, man. Endo's my guy, man. I've been saying about Endo. I've been gassing Endo up more than Liverpool fans. You know what I'm saying?
Because we know, you know what it is? We know he's, you know what it is? And I'm going to relate this to the Kai Havertz thing. We know he's limited, innit? So when he does something, I'm like, oh, fuck, hey, more of that. Like, even when he does something normally.
I hear you.
I'm going, all right. Well done, like, do you know what I'm saying? I'm shrugging my shoulders. So, and that's why I say the Kai Havertz thing. Like when he does something, I feel like it's the same thing where everyone's kind of G'ing man up and whatever. So I feel like he'll do all right. He's still not good enough to play for Liverpool, in my opinion, to start. But it just shows that not everyone's gonna come in and hit the ground running. Maybe he just needs that extra bit of time. And with a run of games, he can look competent and play the game. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy as long as, you know what I'm saying, we can keep some of the players fit, because we are kind of, you got Joe Gomez left back, we're on bare bones in that left back position right now. Tsimikas and Robbo with shoulder injuries is a mad thing. That is a mad thing.
That's a mad thing, That's a mad thing.
Bro, both of them.
But luckily though, you've got January transfer coming. You've only got one game a week after this kind of little bit of period now. You got FA Cup. You playing the FA Cup? Oh, Arsenal, shit. But you don't mind getting out of that competition, but you don't really. Yeah.
Trilogy needs to be pushed. Like for me, the trilogy needs to be pushed like another 7 weeks down the line. So I'd love to see Arsenal versus Liverpool, full strength, full squad, both of us going at it. That's the way I'd want to see it. But unfortunately, as the Prem's the way that the injuries are the way the injuries are at the moment. I agree with Potts. And a lot of people clowned me, and I've had a lot of backlash recently for the way I've spoken about Arsenal. Because the way I speak about Arsenal is very similar to the way I've spoken about Liverpool. Apart from, obviously, I know their midfield is superior to ours. I think there's a lot of comparisons you can make players-wise and performance-wise. We both struggled against Fulham. We both struggled against Luton. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Fair enough.
Yeah.
We battered Villa. They lost to Villa. But guess what? We drew to Brighton and they beat Brighton. Like there's a lot of, like, for me, you look at the Saliba Van Dijk comparison. You know what I'm saying? That's a thing going on. You look at the Saka and Salah comparison. Diaz and Martinelli are doing their best to stink up their own sides of the pitch right now. Quality-wise, they're doing their absolute favorite to be the worst attackers, and they're both two scintillating players when they're at their best. You know what I'm saying? Our strikers have the same amount of goals, I believe. So we're looking, even Jota's got 5 goals, and Nketiah's got 5 goals. Jota's kind of almost the second string striker at the moment, even though I think he's good enough to start. So there's so many similarities between our results, our form, and still getting wins, and still, like, there's so many parallels. So I just think Arsenal are a bit more stable than Liverpool, which is why I'll probably agree with Dan Potts to say they might finish above us, especially if we don't invest. But listen, we're top of the league for the next day at least. I'll take it, and let's just hope Jared Bowen can do the thing against Zinchenko. Maybe, I don't know. We'll have to see.
Wait, that's what we're gonna segue into, man. You know what I mean? Listen, are you confident Arsenal tomorrow game? Dan Potts, big game. If you lose that game or even draw, man, that's bad, man. Because City are sniffing around, man. You know, they're sniffing around, man.
Yeah, it's bad. We can't lose this one, man. We can't drop points here. We've got to go and get 3 points against West Ham. Asadu are a tough one, man, because they're playing well at the moment. You know, Paqueta is absolutely balling. Mons is right. Bowen scoring goals. Kudus, I mean, I wanted this guy badly.
Yo, Kudus, top player.
He's proving why, man. I mean, that for me was the one that I wanted to kind of back up to Saka when he was looking like he was going to leave. But I think he's a baller. I think they've got some great players. I do think we're stronger. I think at home as well, we'll have the belief it's got to be a Christmas time win for us, get us to go back to the top of the table, which is where we want to be. We've got West Ham and Fulham, so it's going to be very, very difficult against two sides that at the moment I would say are very unpredictable. You have no idea where you're going to get with West Ham or Fulham. You know, I look at West Ham, I see them playing well against Man United. I see them getting spanked by Liverpool midweek. Fulham, likewise, they're like 5-0, 5-0, then they lose to Burnley at home, and then they go lose to Bournemouth. I'm like, I don't know what you're going to get. So 2 horrible fixtures because you know what teams are going to turn up. But as long as Arsenal turn up and do their thing, I think we'll be fine. I think we've been quite resolute this season. Our defence has got it going on. I think Gabriel and Saliba are the best partnership in the league for me. I think they've been fantastic. And it's mad because the trio of those two and Rice in front of them was not something I would have been bigging up last season in terms of how good we were at the top of the pitch. And it seems like Arsenal have gone the other way around now. And it's like, have you seen Gabriel, Saliba and Rice? Declan Rice has definitely improved us for sure, 100%. But I'd love to see our front four starting to pick it up because in our Champions League group stage, we were great going forward. But in the league, we've been a lot more resolute and a lot more harder to beat and keeping it calm and not been as fluid. So I want to see the latter.
Havertz suspended.
Havertz is out. So it's going to either be Trossard in that attacking 8 or Smith Rowe. So we're going to have to see who plays that.
It has to be Trossard. It has to be. But you know what it is? Just because you lot need to win this game, Arteta has to go. Like, listen, I love the ESR in it. I think he's when he's fit. I think he's
the baller. Baller.
ESR is the reason. How about this? ESR is one of the main reasons why Arteta even has a process. Simply because when his job was on the line, ESR was scoring goal after goal after goal to keep him in the job.
Yeah, facts.
But I still think Trossard, with the qualities he has, whether he utilizing them or not is another question. The qualities he has to start tomorrow. No.
For me, yes, I like Trossard a lot. I think when he came on Anfield, I thought he did some good things and some things that didn't quite work for him, but he had glimpses. I really like him. I think he's unbelievable. His quick feet. He reminds me quite a lot of some ex-Arsenal players that we've had in the Emirates era, like Alexander Hleb in terms of his quick feet and how he can get into tight spaces. But I look at what he can do in that position and I like it. I think he's completely different to Kai Havertz. I think his attributes are well different. But what I will say, is that if there was any chance for Smith Rowe to look at his future, it would be now and go, where am I getting into this side? I can't get in on the left. I can't get on the right. And when Havertz is out, I can't get in through the middle either. So it is a tough one for him. You know, it might have to be that he has to either go out on loan and get first team football or he just gets sold and Arsenal look to move on from him because I like Smith Rowe a lot.
It's mad you could have sold him, you know, Dan, for 40 million. Remember, you could have sold him for 40 million to Aston Villa.
There's a lot of teams that are sniffing around him. There's a lot of money at the time for him. A lot of Arsenal fans I speak to are the same. They're like, look, He got us into Champions League. We're now going for a title. You sell him, you get better, and you
Yeah.
move on. And I understand that, but I do look at the player, and I think I remember seeing Jack Grealish at the age of Smith Rowe, and Smith Rowe is better. So what is Smith Rowe going to be like if he continues his career at the age of 27, 28? The problem is he's had about 2 years now where he ain't developed because he's had
No,
injury problems, and that
facts.
ain't going to help, man. So
Yep.
I look at his career now and think, where are you at? What are you going to be? So yeah, man, it's a big one.
Yeah,
Big game tomorrow. But
23,
I'm
man.
confident.
It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Right.
I'm
Don't you think
confident,
the
man.
writing's on the wall? Potts? Don't you think the writing's on the wall? Because you look at Nketiah, he's not really deemed good enough for Arsenal. Gabriel Jesus doesn't score enough goals, but probably best for cohesive reasons. Martinelli's only on 2 goals in 17 games. And
Yeah, spooky.
obviously, Saka's always going to start, but even he's got what 3 or 4 goals in 18 games. So the fact that the front line isn't banging, Havertz isn't exactly a goal scorer, and he still can't get a game. That's for me why the writing's on the wall, innit?
And it's the same months as well for Reece Nelson, because the manager does not fancy these 2 kids, man. He's bringing on Trossard, he's bringing on Eddie. They're the only 2 subs he uses that are in any form of attack. And the other player that was getting ahead of him as well, that's now currently injured, it was Fabi Vieira. So I look at the pair of them and think, where is your future? We're out of the Carabao Cup. We're into the latter stages now of the Champions League, where you're not going to get any group game time. Where is the future of these 2 kids that are both young and English? That, to be fair, we could probably get some money on. And they're both HLM products, so we're going to get 100% profit if we do sell them. So it wouldn't surprise me if the pair of them do go over in January or in the summer. But it's a shame because I like to see the young kids do well, man. But I think we're at that stage now where we're going for a title, and you can't look at that anymore, man. Sentimental stuff goes out the window when you're going for trophies.
Nice.
So it's got to be about how we improve, man.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. I mean, Lewis, you're probably thinking Arsenal need to hold tight, man, with the title talk and that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you man impressed with them, or you thinking West Ham got something? Blowing bubbles have got something there for them tomorrow.
No, Arsenal have been more defensively sound this season. I've said their attack has been a bit more iffier. They haven't really wowed me, especially away from home. But in this sort of fixture, I think with the Christmas pile up, I feel like it would impact West Ham a little bit. Obviously, the Havertz suspension, I feel like, is going to mean they'll be a little bit better going forward. So I'd be confident in Arsenal victory. I'd say 2-0, 3-0 or something.
Spec, you saying, yeah, you agree with that?
I think Arsenal they get the job done. They get it done. But West Ham ain't no easy fiat. You get what I'm saying? Like, they're not no. And plus, West Ham be looking at themselves. They'll be up for it because they'll be looking at themselves like, okay, Man United got the win. Newcastle falling a bit. West Ham are trying to beat in around those places. So it's not going to be easy. But Arsenal, I think they're focused, man. They'll get over the line. Therefore.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. Like I said to you tonight, Crystal Palace, Chelsea game, obviously Man City as well, Everton tomorrow. West Ham versus Arsenal are on tomorrow, and also Tottenham versus Brighton. So
it's Haaland back. Is Haaland like? What, has anyone heard anything on Haaland?
No, I've not heard anything. I don't think he's back. I'll be real with you. I
I
don't
heard
think
it
he's back.
was 50-50, man. I heard it was 50-50, but I don't know.
Let me just check Twitter now. Haaland, if he's
I left
if
him in
he's
my team.
available.
I left him in on fantasy, so.
Bro, fantasy, I don't know what fantasy is now, man. I fully flopped that now. I can't lie.
That's all right, man. I've given up on that.
I
That's
fell
crazy.
off.
I always forget after a week.
No, Haaland. No, nothing on Haaland. Nothing. Yeah, nothing. Nothing crazy on Haaland. So, yeah, I wouldn't trust him to put it in there. You get me? So I think he's going to be back after game after. Yeah, game after he's going to be back. So we'll see. But listen, people, we are finished the show. 1.2K still here. Please get me 40 more likes till 500. 500 should always be the bare minimum on the channel, and everyone's channel, really. Dan Potts' channel, Lewis, everyone's channel. Bare minimum, you should always get at least half the people in, half the people likes. Bare minimum. So if you hear people, make sure you like the video. Big up, man. Chris Wood has more goals than Jesus. Comfortable conversations. Wow, we'll end on that one. Dan, big up to you, man. Pleasure's coming up, man. Let them know where they can find you. Big up to you, man, as always, man.
Big up, man, and Merry Christmas to you all, and big up to the panel, and of course all the chat. If you want to come follow me, there's my Twitter handle you see on Instagram now as well. And if you do want to come follow me on YouTube and the channel, then similar stuff over there at Football's 12th Man Podcast. So would love a subscribe. I think we're on our way to 13K. So yeah, come and help, please. It'd be amazing.
Big up, man. And like I said, Lewis, we will be there. Yeah, big up always, man. Make sure you follow up the channel. Lewis, big up to you for coming on as usual, bro.
Big up, my guys. We're going to be doing a watch along later, so keep a lookout for that. And yeah, pray for my football club. Please pray for my football club. Big up, everyone.
Big up, man. We would be there. Big up to Specs in the building. Big up to you, bro.
Yeah, man, you know what? Thanks for letting me on again. Big up to the panel as usual. It's always enjoyable. Yeah, I'm gonna start Geordie Dread, like London, embracing Geordie Dread. I'll do my live watch alongs, not just on Newcastle. I like football in general. So go hit me out if you want. If you go back and see my mad watch alongs from yesterday, it's all wild. But yeah, that's me, man. Go hit me up. And big up to everyone, man.
Big up, man. And Months, big up as usual, man, for jumping on when you could, man. Big up, bro.
Yeah, of course, man. Listen, Big Six Bands should be live maybe about 11:30 tonight, maybe for a call in. I want to spend some time with the subscribers. Some bit more quality time, something a little bit different, and of course some match reaction stuff to talk about as well. And I believe the stat is that Chris Wood actually has more goals than Bukayo Saka and Arsenal's whole front line.
Hat-trick now,
he had more goals than Jesus before the hat-trick. Actually,
I think Jesus for like 2 goals, man, something like that.
Yeah, and here's another fact: Garnacho has more goals than Martinelli and Gakpo. Facts.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know what? I'd still rather be in our positions though, Monster. I'll tell you that now.
100%. These are just little cheeky facts. We were just cheeky, uncomfortable conversation we just like to throw out there. But listen, it's first and second, so these little goal stats are cute. So it's one of them ones.
Exactly, man.
Yeah, easy. That's what we say, man. Listen, I'll be live 5 o'clock. Mandem talk. If you want to be there, make sure you're there. We've got all the Mandem involved. You get me? It's gonna be a bit of a mad one because certain man are still 10-arg in. Obviously, certain man are 10-arg out. So it's gonna be a bit of a wild one. Join us 5 p.m. I might do a watch along for the Chelsea game as well. Just keep an eye on it, man. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what's going on. And yeah, make sure you follow up the Mandem. We're out. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.